Okay, we're looking at Prep Test 56. This is section 3, and question 6 asks us to identify the reasoning in the argument. Okay, so basically what we're asked to do is just be able to mimic or identify the mode of reasoning that's occurring within the argument, and it can be valid or invalid. Okay, once we identify it, then obviously we need to go through the answer choices and see which one jives with that. So what's going on in the argument? Basically, we've got this company that says, you know, we ran advertisement. We ran it in print form and we ran it on the internet. Okay, we didn't get any information back about what's happening with regard to what we ran in print, but we did get the results from the web, and the results really were no good, and therefore we conclude that the print is also not any good. Okay. So what's going through my mind when I read something like this is that I'm basically trying to infer, I know about one thing, okay, I don't know about another thing, and I'm trying to infer that that second thing has the same result as the first. We don't know if the print and web are comparable. We know that it's the same sort of advertisement. It's a different medium. But I'm taking a step, I'm taking a leap to try to infer something about the second thing just because I know something about the first. And so that's kind of what's going through my head. And let's go through the answer choices and see what we come up with. Okay, if we look at A, and you know, one thing I have to comment on is really when you see something as simple as what we see up in the stimulus, like you pretty much know what it is. So what the test makers are going to try to do at this point is convolute the answer choices to a degree that makes it impossible to recognize what the actual right answer is. Okay, so if we look at A, it says bases a prediction of the intensity of a phenomenon. Okay, so we can just kind of stop right there. A prediction of the intensity of a phenomenon. Okay, so the intensity of the phenomenon would be what's going on with the print ad. Okay, we're basing a prediction of the print ad on information about the intensity of that phenomenon's cause. Okay. The bottom line, the way that you can get rid of this, right? We're not basing any information based on print. We're based it on another phenomenon. Okay, it's the web. Okay, so the way that A is eliminated is we're not basing our prediction on print. Okay, it's actually based on another thing. So A falls out. If we look at B, uses information about the typical frequency of events of a general kind to draw a conclusion about the probability of a particular event of that kind. Okay, and so here we're still trying to draw conclusions about events of the same kind, and it's really not the case. We have two different events, print and web. Okay, and so basically B is a fancy way of we're trying to come up with some average, but we're basing our results on something different. Okay, not the same. If we look at C, infers a statistical generation from claims about a large number of specific instances. Well, we're not basing our claim that print is no good on a large number of specific instances. We're basing it on the idea that we have this one result. It's the web was no good. So again, C is a fancy way of talking about averaging as well. But again, we're not basing our conclusion on a number of specific instances. If we look at D, uses a case in which direct evidence is available to draw a conclusion about an analogous case. So we can stop right there. We have direct evidence, and the fact that we know we have information about the web, that's the direct evidence, and something analogous, that's the print. Okay, we're running the same advertising campaign. We are attempting to make those things analogous, in which direct evidence is unavailable. So our analogous case is we don't have any direct evidence about it, and we are inferring from the direct evidence of the case that we do have evidence on about that second case. Therefore, D is the correct answer to the question. Let's look at E, though. Bases a prediction about future events. That's where we stop right there. We're not talking about future events in this. We're talking about something that's already happened. We're drawing a conclusion about an analogous case that we have no information on that's already occurred. So E falls out. Thanks.